All right. First thing I just want to say is thank you, everyone, for well showing up. It's an hour later, and trying to fit in me adjusting to things. So thanks a lot. Great to see you, Tolemykus. Great to see you, Charles Latora. Great to see you, Brian R. Smith, Chrispy Galactic, and William Arends. Hope you're doing well. I know it's been and great to see you too, Meandering Mike. Yeah, it's been very strange weather. I'm kind of hoping that we get some kind of like a bit of a wind going here around just to dry it out. It's been raining and we're supposed to get back to the freezing temperatures. Oh, and good afternoon now. Actually, hex to hex for you and me. And great to see you, Gamers with Coffee, Ashley. All right, so please let me know what you've been up to. Like I said, I just finished, so we're an hour postponed here. Yeah, I just finished while they were still going on. I had to kind of just quickly just say in the comments like I'm leaving. I think I've mentioned before, I mean, dealing with these types of people, even though they're so friendly and so accommodating, I still feel awfully intimidated. I mean, it's like, I'm dealing with historian type people and but anyways, it was, I just, quickly just said goodbye. I mean, I never said a bloody word in the lecture. I can tell you that much. Anyways, we've got enough people, so let's start off. I'm going to go right away with the, did everybody see Professor Latora's head scratch of the week? I don't even know what the heck, hold on here. I'll put it on if I can find it. Can you put it on again, Charles Latora, so that way it'd be easier for me to pop it on the display so people can see? That'd be great. And I do have my notes, and hopefully I'll stick with my notes, and we'll go from there. And yet again, people, I'm hoping that if you guys say, you know what, Chris, this is kind of boring, or can you jump to this bit or that bit or the other, to let me know. Like I've said before, this is our live show. Just me doing this every week motivates me so much on just wanting to learn more and more and more about the Great War and everything. So it's already, you know what I mean? It's already bonus time for me, kind of thing, is what I'm trying to say. So if you go, you know what, I want you guys to focus more on this, that, just let me know. All right, I'm going to go off with the first clue. And that's yet again, I'm starting to have to try to figure, another thing is, I was talking with Zoe about it last week, is I have to remind myself for the history heroes, who or what am I in World War I have to start saying, or what am I, not just who am I? Because I mean, for example, like last week with the flamethrower that Brian R. Smith got. Gamers with Coffee, good morning. Well, good morning. I think it's probably afternoon for you now too. How about we go with that? But well, good morning. There we go. Charles Latora, thank you. Now I can show it here. So Charles Latora, Professor Latora's head scratcher of the week is when did San Marino declare war on Austria? I don't even know what the heck San Marino is, for goodness sakes. And Gamers of Coffee says, both of us, I guess you guys merged yourself into one little, or no, I see, I get it. You guys have your both separate things. I'm cluing in here. I'm going to leave that there for now. And then I'm going to have to start looking up for the trivia thing here. Yeah, that's weird. I'm like trying to shift my brain into to live stream mode. I've just been like, listening to whatever. Okay, so I'm going to put the comment here. I'm going to hide your thing, Professor Latora. And here's the first clue of who or what am I in World War I. And then I'll put it in the banners. There we go. It seems every belligerent tried to use me in any way, shape, or form. Who or what am I? And remember, you get one, yes, Hex to Hex says the strategic lord of Chuckness. On a side note, I'm going to say this, and I did write it off. I just thought this was rather interesting. Remember, this was my very first meeting with the Eastern chapter of the Western Front Association. And there's a character, I guess, I don't know these people, but I mean, they know each other often, and they kept saying, anyways, there's this little jokester or jester of their group, and his name's Charles. And I went, oh my God, you've got to be Crispy Galactic does it. Boom! You blew. And you know what's bizarre? You did it. You did it, Crispy Galactic. I'll give you the rest of the effing clues. It took me a while. I didn't finish doing them till Thursday, man, or yesterday. Gosh darn it. This is the thing I was going to say about. Yeah, that was a quickie. Crispy Galactic, get it out. Is that? Yeah, I'll show you the clues. I'm just like I said before. I've been trying to. I want to give like a little bit of a hint during the week with the World War I images of the week. Yeah, you got your bonus points right there off the bat. Yeah, okay, I'll give you the rest of them quickly here. William X says, "Oh no, the Republic of San Marino declares war, and the Central Powers, Berlin and Vienna, are doomed." But the thing is, I don't even know who the hell what San Marino is. So you guys are way ahead of the curve for me. I'll give you the other quickie. I'm just gonna pop them in the banners. I guess that's the best way of doing it rather than the comments. So the next one I had was, when the war started, there were millions of us. Wow, well done, man. The reason why I wanted to put it in, well, for trees, like I said, is, well, I'm also got to start trying to learn. That's why I'm going to try to maybe use the images of the week as a bit of a hint. I mean, I don't know what knowledge levels everybody is in here. Some people are like just want to just deal with World War I related gaming. Other people, are maybe more into the history type of stuff. So I want to like obviously make sure that everybody is on equal playing field. But yet again, like I've said before, just even popping in a guess, you get a point. So that kind of hopefully helps level it out. So there was the other one I wanted to put in. This one I thought this one was going to be. I didn't think anybody was going to get it so quickly, actually. This is when I thought, okay, maybe someone like Tolemykus, or actually, since Meandering Mike knows how to read Russian, or William Arends with some German, I thought maybe somebody would get this one here. Myself and my comrades come from well-known family lines such as Ash, Burke. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these right. Those are the German ones here: Burke, Ike, and Sosna, which is Russian for pine. And then I put in, like so many others, how many of us were cut down in our prime? Remember, I'm not trying to be a little, whatever with the clues here. Without me, the war could not have continued or even been carried out as it did. I was just thinking about, way back when, remember when I went to the Canadian War Museum with Zoe, and we took a look at went specifically for the World War I exhibit. And it was for that Alfred Bunting, I think that's his name. I'll have to take a look again, or something like that. The war horse painter, and he did a bunch of things about the Canadian Forestry Corps. And then I went and looked it up, and there was some British general that later on that said the contribution of the Canadian Forestry Corps, just because of them going over to Europe and starting to basically chop down forests like you wouldn't believe, turning into duck boards and a zillion other things that you can think of. He said they did as much or more of a contribution than any British battleship did in the war, because of the amount of shipping that was relieved from bringing timber and whatnot across. I was like, whoa, just, that type of stuff. I just thought was quite neat. Here's another one. Although it did take time, we regrew our communities. But now I sound like I'm probably, you guys now know the answer. You're probably like, oh, brother. But some of us bore scars of being in the war. And that's it. And I've got a bazillion other. Thank you, Meandering Mike. San Marino, and William Arends says, San Marino is a small, landlocked, independent country surrounded by Italy. Thank you. I had no clue whatsoever. Meandering Mike says, birch in Russian. Thank you. Yet again. So that's why... So hopefully, even though Crispy Galactic just, and it was like I was saying about this on this thing was, I was like, I wonder if somebody gets it quick. What's that going to be called? Like, I don't know, quiz. No, what would that be? Blitz quiz or something. I don't know. I was just like, wow, well done. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the banners. And then we'll go on to, what do I have? Oh, I do want to say this, and we'll, hopefully I'll grab the link so I can get rid of this text thing. But I'm doing okay. My mind is still kind of like snapping back into it. Birch in Russian. Okay, thank you. Or I already said that one. The week, we got the links. Is this? So I do have the person's name here because I wrote it down. I want to say thank you to Walter Tepley Schabel. That was one of the participants last week that wanted to let us know about the World War I TV channel on YouTube. And let's take a quickie look. Just wanted to show it to you. I haven't watched any of their stuff, but did take a poke. And the host looks really into the Great War. So anyways, there you go. And Chrispy, oh, that darn right he did. Gamers Who Coffee says, the history of tree usage in war has deep roots. Boom. Exactly. That's what, you know, what the kind of stuff I wanted to get with. So here, I'm just going to present the screen. There. So it's this there. That's the channel, and specifically the episode that that participant was mentioning there. High Wire Travels in the Italian Front. I watched it. I have seen that that historian at the bottom there, Tom Issett, on a few of the other channels. So he looks pretty good. The host seems really into the Great War. So I was like, wow, this is. I mean, anybody's into the Great War, I'm like, right on, man. Okay, what else? Oh, this I did. I'm not sure. Did I show you guys this last week? Because I'm not really sure. Hold on here. I have to get out of this because this is something I've been wanting to show you guys repeatedly. So I'm not too sure if I did show it to you last week. So hold on. I'll show it to you again, just in case. Did I show you this thing last week? So this is a map from, darn it, I think from the Martin Gilbert Atlas of the First World War book. But it just, for me, anyways, it just, when I saw like how little the Central Powers are, I mean, they're just those little black bits. And Tolemykus is hole in one. There you go. Remember, so they, I mean, yeah, I think I did, because there's Togoland's gone, the Cameroons is gone, German Southwest Africa is gone, you know, all this over here in Australia is gone and whatnot. Yeah, well, maps are beautiful, aren't they? Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of that. There's another, and here's another thing I wanted to show you guys, and I thought maybe a bunch of you guys would want it for your own purposes, is scalable maps. One thing I would so wish to do is have a proper, I was like, what I wanted to do when I was looking at Richard Champion, great to see you. I hope you're having a great day. And oh, sorry, I haven't shown you guys the thing yet. So there we go. So you guys can see it, I hope. Oh, there we go. And I'll put me a little side bit, is this here. So, and I think I can do this, get rid of that ad. Oh, you guys don't even see the ad. Good. And I just typed, so originally what I was doing was I was looking at using Google Maps or whatever to, you know, while we do the week that was, because a lot of times, I don't know about you guys, I want to, you know, yeah, we're rattling off all these battles or this, that is happening. And I'm like, I just would, can I see what the heck is going on a map and like, where are these things? But yet again, I perhaps don't want to, Africa doesn't look like, oh, I guess it is. I just thought, well, it seems like a heck of a lot more places than I thought they had in 1914. But obviously I didn't want to use in modern day, whatever. And, so I don't know how the hell I found this out. I found it out this week. So I'm assuming you could probably do this with other stuff, because all I did was type in scalable map for 1914 and I got this. The thing is, I can save this as an SVG file, which means you can use it later on as a scalable image. And I can add things to this. So I'm thinking if you guys also wanted to do something for your own thing, I'm like, it's going to take time, but I would love to be able to add as much stuff like this, because look, I think eventually we'll be able to zoom mode. Yes. See what I mean? So you can imagine what if I'm able to start entering a lot of the other stuff. Oh my God, I forgot, I'm going on to a side note here with layering. I can start thinking some funky stuff. Okay, I'm going to get rid of, stop the screen there. So anyways, I thought it's already in the sources and links. So if you guys wanted to go and take a look and start fiddling around yourself, please, for goodness sakes, go. It's there. Yep, let's go to the, which is ironic. I thought I was going to be showing the Pinup Gal and Guy, which would help with suckering or giving you guys another hint for what the history heroes, or what am I in World War I is, but that's not the case because Chrispy Galactic nailed it to the cross. So hold on here. I want to make sure that I'm viewing. You guys are going to be able to see things properly. View. I want to the width. William Arends says, when I visited France 21 years ago, I saw there were small plots of wooded land in the Loire Valley countryside rather than an extensive forest. I wonder if that was an effect of World War I deforestation. Amanda Mike says, nice, and I'm assuming he means the map. Chrispy Galactic, the wooden cross, yes. And Easter's coming up. Okay, hold on here. I'm going to present the screen. So here was going to be the gal, the Pinup Gal. Well, it would have been gals, but I guess you get the idea of I was going to give you guys another hint. And I can put it in the banners. This one's in the banner. And that's a young woman employed as a farm worker assisting another young woman over a fallen tree trunk. So that was going to, well, it is the, but like it was also going to be like a secret hint, I guess you could say. And I'll show you the Pinup Guy that I picked up today. Well, actually I had two. The first one, no, it's a bit sexist, I guess you could say. I'll show it to you. Or no, this is not. This from last week would have been the sexist one. So this would have been another, let's see, how do I do this? Fit images to the window? No, I don't want that. I think it's just because it's a crap. Let's try that. No, that's even worse. I don't like that either. Hold on. No, view. The tree house, which I thought was kind of cool. I just got to get them bigger. There you go. Hope you guys can see that. Yeah, there you go. Some little observation tree fort, but I wanted to show you what I did pick for this week. And this guy is, and I'll pop his banner on too. And that's a Persian man posing for a photograph by a bridge somewhere in Persia. And I don't know. I was thinking ironically, is it the same as me for the photographer? I don't like, to me, the bridge really caught my eye. And I'm like, did the photographer, I'm just being terrible. I was like, did the photographer kind of say, hey, to this guy, can you just stand here to, for perspective or something? I don't know. And yeah, outhouse and tree, goodness gracious. So hold on, let me get rid of the, there. And now we're going to get on to what else did I put in? Okay, so I'm going to get rid of, let's stop the screen. All right. Professor Latora's head scratcher of the week was still going. We don't, I don't have a bloody clue about that. This is one thing I did want to, let's do it now. Why not? I can jump all around with what I wanted for the things, and I think you guys may enjoy this. So one thing I wanted to try to do is, and I went to BGG on it, and I was like, my goodness, you guys can probably help me out here. Brian R. Smith says, regarding Charles's question of the day, San Marino formally stayed neutral. A trick question. Interesting. So there you go, Charles. Remember, Professor Latora, this is entirely up to you, man. I'm just relaying whatever here. And Chrispy Galactic says May 1916. So there you go. Hold on here. I want to get to the website. We'll go to BGG here. Oops, I got rid of the other one, so I have to pop in another one. And then put you here. All right. Now, what I wanted to do is, okay, I'm going to present the screen, is, I think I mentioned this before, is I wanted to take a look at World War I related games, for goodness sakes. And I was thinking, well, just from people talking and Lord knows what. So I just was like, I want to take a look at World War I related games that attempt to try to do the whole war in some way, shape, or form. However, not to be rude here, but I'm going to reduce a few things here. It's not because I'm anti-miniatures and all that. It's just they overload the search. Okay, that's all it is. Great to see you, Hissy Cat. You're never late, man. It doesn't matter. Even just to see you, even for a tiny bit, is wonderful. Hope you're having a great day. Charles Latora says, again, I can only go by the Encyclopedia of World History that I have here in front of me. Professor Latora, man, it's all good. Are you kidding me? Trust me, man. Don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it. Okay, there we go. So if you guys can help me out here, because I don't know, Manny Mike says San Marino was one of those odd countries I knew about because of stamp collecting as a kid. That's right. I remember you mentioning that you were into stamps. Oh, yes. Here's the other thing I forgot to do is to go to 150%. Please let me know if it's not, doesn't look very good or what have you. So I thought if you guys could help me out for some of these games, there's only 6 pages. I'm not going to go through them all here. But if you guys can see some that you go, yep, that one kind of spans the whatever is what I want to do at some point. I actually did purchase this. It should probably arrive in a couple of weeks. Quartermaster General 1914. It looks pretty darn good. I'm not sure if this is what Herman Luttman was recommending, saying that this is one of his better games that he mentioned on, I think it was Hex to Hex's show that was on Thursday. I'm not sure if it was Thursday. I'm not sure if this is the game he mentioned, but I know that the discriminating gamer absolutely adores this game. So Hissy Cat says, I just bought 1914 Not Paris from Buka. Cool. So anyways, that was it. Now, we're going to go to something that just knocked my little socks off, if I can find it. Hold on here. I'm going to have to go down to, so I can see what's going on here and see if I can find it. Yes, Der Weltkrieg. I don't know if that's how you say it, but in this crazy thing that, or when I was going through this thing, I found this game, Der Weltkrieg. And Tolemykus says, Brian R. Smith, you might be assuming the wrong war. Is William Arends, remember you had mentioned, oh, maybe I can help you out with some of the German translations for the headlines or what have you. Charles Latora says June 3rd, 1915. Thanks, Charles Latora. So that's it. You've done it. I'll put your thing in so everybody can see it for a second here. Point. That's the answer. This game, I guess something was like, did come out in like 1915. So I downloaded the image here. Here, we'll go to the images. Just wanted you to see it. It's a very simple game, but it's only a one-pager here. And I thought, of course, it's with that crazy font that they used back then. I didn't realize they really actually did use it. Mini WarMutt says, like button smashed. Hey, everyone. Great to see you. I hope you're having a great day. So anyways, I thought I've scanned this. I've cleaned it up, William Arends. I thought maybe at some point I can maybe send you my cleaned up copy of this, and you could take your sweet time and see if you can, translate bits of this. Here you see, it's like a race game. I just thought it was kind of neat. And I'd like to see if, here, we'll take a look at the map. And I've also took a look at, cleaned this up as well. But I guess the gist of it is that the player, 2 players, you decide you're either going to, there's 2 ways to get to Paris, I guess. Brian R. Smith says, in regards to Tolemykus, my reading is they stayed neutral in both world wars. They were volunteers that served during World War I. Gosh, guys, you know so much. It's ridiculous. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing that temporarily for now. Let's take a look at, not bad. I'm amazed, 25 minutes in. So I thought maybe sometime at some point, William Arends, I'll send you off the electronic copy of the, like I said, the cleaned up version of that 1-page rule thing, and go for it. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. I'd just like to see. It would be kind of neat to see if we can bring back life to a game that's over 100 years old. Of course, it's just going to be a simple. Who cares? I just want to have some fun with it. What other things did I want to mention? Well, before we get into the, I guess the week that was and all that stuff, which I thought is a nice thing to try to, for me, yeah, I'm not going to read out everything. That's why I hopefully, I don't know if anybody saw it. I tried to put up the images on the community tab ahead of time. I'll try to fix with the aspect ratio. I have to worry about that with YouTube. There's just so much. There's no bloody way I can read all that stuff in 1 hour or whatever. And I don't think anybody would want me to read that type of stuff. But I do want to like pinpoint a few things and hopefully start trying to get some context to, the flow of what's going on with the war at this point in time, like in January 1916. I will say this, this week when I was looking at the war summary, already you can see the effects of Douglas Haig. Remember, he's taken over from John French, the BEF, not the whole shebang, but pretty much like the Western Front. And you can already see the change in, it is already, I think we were talking about it last week and the week before, that there's going to be an increase in trench raids. And sure enough, you see them in the war summary. On the other, yet again, with the war summary bits, I'm just amazed. I don't know if the sophistication of propaganda or whatnot, or, at that point in time, it's still naive or whatever, but I'm just absolutely amazed at what seems to be exposed often. Of course it's still, but I don't find it like reading. I'm like, okay, this is going to be obviously, pretty pro, like, we're going to crush the Central Powers stuff from the Globe newspaper, but it's not, I don't find over the top. Well, we'll get to it at some point. William Arends says, what is the best way for you to transfer the files of the German reports to me? I can send it to you. What I'll do is I'll put it on my, I can either just send it to you via private email, or I'll give you a link through BGG, through my BGG thing, and you can just grab a link off of that, or that type of thing. Or at the bare minimum, I can even post it on the community tab, for goodness sakes. It's just an image. And I can even, parse it up or whatever. But yeah, we can do that, and anybody can grab it that way, because it's just, all I did was clean up. I just cleaned it up as much as possible. Okay, hold on here. Let me get to what I wanted to show a few things of. So this is, Hex to Hex says, you, Mike, and Chuck are known to me now as the triple entente. Oh, thank God it's not like the three whatevers. Okay, here we go. So here's the wing. So this one, and this is inadvertently, I think, due to the fact that person, Walter Tepley-Schabel from last week, one of the participants, mentioned the World War I TV channel, and I just, no, I didn't, thank God. Just yet again, why does it keep doing this to me? Okay, there we go. YouTube, says here, we'll recommend things to you. So I'm not going to show you the YouTube thing, but you can find it. And you guys are probably going to go, hey, wait a minute, that's an American whatever, because that's what it said at first. So this is I'll try to blow it up. So this is not that American sitcom thingamajig or whatever it is. This is a 1977 BBC show, all the episodes, and there's hours upon hours of the, it's done like in the old All Creatures Great, it's BBC style of Wing. It's called Wings, and there you go. It's I watched a tiny bit of the very first episode. Looks awesome, and I'm like, thank you flipping much. I've got a World War I related drama. I subscribe to YouTube Premium. I don't have to worry about ads, so I'm in heaven. Gamers of Coffee says, we have to go. Family things. Great show, sir. Hey man, have a great day. Thank you for showing up. Meandering Mike says, I've been trying to convince to get it on Facebook. No luck so far. I don't know what that means. Okay, so we'll stop that. Hold on here. Stop the screen. So anyway, so I just thought maybe if, you guys want to watch World War I related drama, I certainly do. I'm off there. The History of the War, the Great War podcast with Wesley Live Say, episodes, hold on here, 64, Verdun Part 2. I've only listened to it once. I can't wait to listen to it again. Charles Latora says, thanks, Hex. Needed a good chuckle. Been up since 2 a.m. painting, trying not to doze off. Well, 2 things that I got so far, and like I said, I can't wait to listen to it again, is one, he talks quite a bit about the fort construction in the frontiers, I guess like right after the Franco-Prussian War, and the French are going berserk constructing these forts. I just yet again about like they have to keep like just go and listen to it. I've got it in the sources and links. That's all I got to say. I didn't realize that fortresses had to be so well thought out. That's it. And the second thing was that the French tried to use the train, and yet again, I mean, how can you can't beat it out of us, the game or out of us. I'm sorry if it's in you. Listening to it, and you're talking about train, I'm like, oh my god, thinking about a game map or something like that in my Weltkrieg map of like, how is it going to affect the movement costs and that? And he started talking about the fact that the French started to position forts to make invasion corridors for the Germans, and left gaps, even like whatever. So to almost entice the Germans into these. I was also starting to think, oh my God, this sounds similarly to what will end up happening in World War I, when they started to do that with leaving gaps to funnel the troops, for the machine guns to nail you. I was just like, holy F, this is, so, and the French are, getting ready to prepare and position their troops for where they knew the Germans were going to come into. I was like, wow, this is so neat. All this stuff I didn't know about. Thank you, Wesley Live Say. And away we go. Wardrobe plays World War II. Hey, rare live viewing for me. Great to see you. Yeah, and it's well, we normally wouldn't be on at this time, that's for sure. The Not So Quiet on the Western Front podcasts, they've done their 11th one this week on Trench Life or something like that. I haven't watched it. It's called Trench Talk. I haven't listened to it. It does say in it, though, that it's their last episode on YouTube. And I was like, oh, no, what the heck does that mean? So I took a look at a few of the comments. They're going over to Spotify and Apple, whatever. And then I'm like, what the hell is Spotify? So I took a look at that, and I found out that, okay, I don't need to pay, but I'm back into ad land, which sucks, because that's one of the things that I love about YouTube Premium. But they're doing, I mean, it's their, do whatever the hell they want. Now, this is a channel I certainly, or a website I certainly wanted to show you guys, and I hope to God it's in the links. Bit is yes. It's called Away from the Western Front. And it's a great resource. I have nowhere near tapped into how much I would like to tap into it. Not even close. Let's go to it. And I thought if anybody wants to get away from the Western Front kind of thing, do so. I use Brave, no ads whatsoever. I've never even heard of them. So there we go. I'll pump that up. Tell me if that's too much yet again. So I thought you guys would want to take a look at this. And you can see here about us was registered. They're gone now, but who cares? They thankfully left their stuff up here. And as you can see here, you look at this. I was like, whoa, I want to go to the other campaigns. Thank you very much. Because that's one place I know so little about. What the heck is going on with China? And then I find out all this stuff that I didn't realize, that they actually end up wanting to declare war against the Central Powers at the very, I had no clue about this. So I was like, whoa, this is yet again all this stuff. And I was like, of course, I want to share it with you guys. Wardrobe says they could simply post their episodes to YouTube podcasts. Interesting choice. Yeah, I don't know anything about this stuff. But like I said, this is in the sources and links. I wanted to share it with you. Boink, done. I don't have to pop in to show it to you, but I did want to mention to you guys that some fellow gamers Centurion's review. They have 2 videos out this week, and well, obviously game related. One's on zones of control, and the other one's on command and control. And I thought, well, you guys are, and yet again, some of us, myself included, are relatively new into hex encounter gaming and all that stuff. Yet again, it's good to listen to other people and see what their insights are and experiences and whatnot. I think this is good stuff. That being said, yet again, about some Hextech says Mr. Orwell will have a Weltkrieg here in the next couple of days. Really excellent. Is the SPI resource page. There's yet again, some of us just don't have. Let's see if I can get to it. Hold on here. Gaming. Publishers. I know a lot of you guys know about it. Hex to Hex knows about it. Meandering Mike knows about this place. And there you go. And I'm going to make sure this has been bumped up. So I thought at some point, or at least if you guys want it, at least for me, this type of stuff, where's the tactics? So I thought for me, this is good. This is like school for high school stuff. Anyways, I just thought there it is. I will put it in the sources and links. I don't know if I have that one in there. I should. But anyways, there you go. These are all PDFs, and they look good to me. So there you go. It'll helping me out. I thought maybe for any of you guys that are relatively new, it may help you out as well. I'm going to share this as well. And it was nice to find out this morning. I wasn't sure if it was the case. And it is the case. It does look like it. And you're like, what was he talking about? Just hold on here. I got to pop it on here for. Is that? Nope, that's almost it. It'll be the second thing we see. Take a look at. It's the Keegan book. There we go. And I'm going to present it. All right. So you guys can see that. So, since we're into 1916, I went off and take a look at some some other books and hopping around books, not stuff that I read, cover to cover, and went and grabbed the World War I John Keegan book. Hex to Hex this is a phenomenal website. The SPI resource site, 100%. Anyways, here he goes, and I was like, oh boy, starts talking about the massive increase in production. And of course, a lot of it has got to do with the fact that women start getting into the workforce more and more. And I was just absolutely blown away. Hex to Hex, Russ Guilford takes care of that. Oh, wow. Okay, thank you for letting us know. And I'm amazed, Hex to Hex, that what is available. It is just stunning. Anyways, I just thought this knocked my socks off, and I just saw all the numbers of just the massive increase in production. Then I was thinking to myself, do any games out there model that? I have no clue. And I was thinking, probably unfortunately, my favorite thing, Weltkrieg doesn't. So I went to the Grand Campaign to take a look, and it does look like I said, these are early days. I just looked at it this morning, but it looks like Weltkrieg is doing it a little bit, because if you look over here, this is for Germany on the left-hand side here for the production bits. And this is all relatively new to me. So this is all like translucent. You can see here from for example, weapon factories, 2 at level 5, rest at level 4, but then January 1916 and later. And that's just what we were looking at with the Keegan book. And then you can see now 6 at level 8, rest at level 7. I have no idea what that means yet, but it looks like Dave Schroeder, the game designer, and I was like, please, I hope he did, because he seems to be so knowledgeable, and this, that, and the other thing happened. Like even when we were looking way back when at the Ottoman rail was not completed, and they actually, from Constantinople to get towards Mesopotamia and down towards Palestine and whatnot, and they had to, break off and whatnot. And sure enough, you go take a look at the Weltkrieg maps, and he's got them right there. I was like, wow, that's impressive. Okay, so we got that done. On the side note, I'm not going to show it, and then we're going to go off to, I've got 20 minutes. Let's go to and then we'll go to the week that was, take a look at the war summary, try to get what's going on in context of what's happening right now in 1916. With the Live and Let Live system and the Tony Ashworth book, oh my God, yes. I'm so glad I made some notes there when I was with the Jesse Alexander talk there, which was nice because I thought for sure it was going to be from the Canadian perspective. It didn't, as per usual, don't read everything. And this title is, it's the German lost youth of Vimy. So it was from the German perspective. I was like, wow, this is awesome. And he makes an anecdote of a German sniper talking about when the Canadians arrived to take over that part of the line. And, or they had been there for a while or whatever. And he said, oh yeah, and obviously this is not a direct quote, but something like the Canadians were devils, like the sniper said, we could hardly ever do any sniping because every time we took one of them, like a bunch of us would get nailed. And I went, that is exactly an example of one of the examples of how the Live and Let Live system works, or one way of doing it. You nail us, well, we'll nail you 3 times as hard. Get the hint, stop. And that's exactly what happened. The Germans stopped sniping. I was like, I don't know, doesn't mean it's direct, but I was like, okay, that kind of gives it a bit more weight. So on the second bit, when I started, like I said, after reading that book and started looking at battles and whatnot in a different light, and then I was like, okay, there is that famous thing, and I had to go and look it up, and I knew that Rob Thompson, famous lecturer, remember he died in April, and we attended his memorial lecture virtually, obviously, in the summer. He's got an entire lecture, and it's in, I think I put it in the sources and links, and it's the miracle how they were able to move the entire Canadian Corps secretly for the Battle of Arras, and I guess the Black Day for Germany that Ludendorff calls or whatever, and it was the beginning of the 100 Days and all that stuff. And I thought, how much of that was actually secret? And I'm like, well, and this is the beauty of it. I love both. I love Rob Thompson and I love Tony Ashworth. So I can't be, I'm biased towards both, but they're going to clash. I know what, this is beautiful. So I can't wait to finish rewatching his lecture and going over some other stuff. And who knows, we'll see. Wardrobe says there are 20 plus World War II games that include some level of production, grand strategic style games. So I'm sure there are World War I that do the same. And it's nice. And yeah, I know that's what I wanted to see. It's just not a static, production thing. Like you are actually trying to model a little bit of what happened in the war, which would be great. Okay, let's go off to that. So yeah, that's my little side bit. I will say this as well. Quickly about the meeting or the lecture, it was interesting that it started with a 2-minute moment of silence, and then everybody said, "We will remember them." I didn't. I was just like in kind of a shock mode or whatever. I was like, "Whoa, this is interesting." But I just thought it was nice to have it framed. I'm like, okay, this is, and I will say this yet again. It was a good half an hour before the meeting actually started, or the talk, and they were just constantly talking about, remembering the people that were involved in all conflicts. I was like, wow, this is, that was their main focus. I just thought that was quite neat. It wasn't about getting off on the battle of this or the battle of that. Right? That I thought was really neat. Anything else that I noticed quickly from? Nope. They're desperate to have anybody help them with in the study group. I was like, okay, if you just need like a Santa's little helper type of stuff to not actually do something like majorly important, good for. I'm all for you. that type of thing. That'll be good. Okay, let's go to start taking a look at the stuff then. I do want to look, because I keep missing it, is the, hold on here. And then we can go to the war summary, I hope. And I don't think we need to show you that anymore, which is great. I can get rid of the links, I think. I don't want to save you. Is this. I can display this, and then we can just take a quickie look. Window there. So this is the stuff I wrote down, like I said, from the Chronology of the Great War book. And there you can see here what's been going on this week. And then, which I find nice, is that taking a look at this, and then when we quickly take a look at the headlines for the war summary from the Globe newspaper, is how obviously a lot of this connects. And some of it isn't there later, but I'm like, okay. So I just thought I'm not going to. That was another neat thing I thought on the 22nd of January, and this we've seen this before. The Russian torpedo boats sink a further 40 sailing vessels in the Black Sea. I can't remember where I read it this week, but it was something that's getting upwards to like 200 sailing vessels. And I was thinking, why are there so many sailing vessels? And I was like, well, maybe because the Ottoman Empire is starving for coal. I don't know yet. And that's another thing. Actually, this week's History Heroes, Who or What Am I, was going to be on coal, but then I was like, nah, let's go with the trees. So there we go. I just wanted to, I'm not going to go through the whole reading. Hopefully you guys can take a look. And then we'll take a look at, like I said, you can see the Russian advance on the forts of Erzurum. So they're right back to there again. And then you can see here the German offensive. There's another one up in, that should be a U, I think, up in Belgium. All right. And here, over here, they were saying something, I think it was from last week's bit there with the war summary there with the the Kaiser meets King Ferdinand of Bulgaria at Niš. I guess that the Bulgarians were really trying to make sure they get, if they're going to go in all the way, like, you better make sure we got, everything's sweet. Okay, here we go. I'm going to get to the sharing the pictures. All right. And I want to make sure you can see it as big as possible. Please let me know if it's, like I said, if you don't find it, you can't read it, or you need my face out of the way so you can see it better, whatever. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to go over just the little tiny bits here, and maybe that'll help you off. Go, oh, this seems rather interesting. I'll just read the very quick little headline bits here. For the Battle of the Possession of Czernowitz and the railway system to the west and northwest of that city has been resumed on a great scale. No suggestion that the Russians have given up their attacks. The Austrians admit that their front is under Russian artillery fire, which means that preparations are underway for a renewed assault. The determination of General Ivanov to capture the capital of Bukovina, which I guess is Czernowitz. And then, I put in the black dots, like I said before, like last week, just to kind of remind me, it's like, whoa, these, for me anyways, I'm like, these are really, I just find, they tickled my little interest a little bit more than the other stuff. The possession of the Czernowitz-Kolomia Railway, which branches reaching many points to the region between the Dniester and the Pruth, is also a matter of importance to the Russians, for it is by these branches which cross the Carpathians into Hungary to the west of Kolomia. I was like, all right, exactly. And when I look at my Weltkrieg map, that's exactly what I see. And we've heard about it. Even you, Charles Latora, were mentioning it a few weeks ago in one of my comments in my videos, saying when I was having an issue about what I was going to do with this missing Russian cavalry division that I found. You're like, well, didn't they kind of like go down the mountain paths and try to cause some grief? And there you go. The situation in Greece appears to be critical. King Constantine, in an interview supplied to the Associated Press, and the Montenegrins have definitely rejected the terms offered by Austria. This one I really, yet again, it's just neat to know how much complaining is going on, you know, by the blockade. It's not just the Germans that are getting affected by this. The tightening of the blockade has brought Britain into sharp antagonism to Sweden. To show their resentment of the search of mail matter en route to and from Sweden, the government of that country announces that the export of pulp wood will be prohibited. British submarines are still keeping watch in the North Sea. General Elmer has won the struggle in the Tigris. Yeah, no, he hasn't. The Petrograd correspondent of the London Times tells of a curious incident which occurred during the recent serious fighting near Jakobstadt on the Vina. The Germans attempted to turn the Russian flank, and then, yeah, they ended up friendly fire there. French and British reports issued last night tell of artillery duels, aerial engagements, and mining operations. Almost within touch of General Townsend's beleaguered force. Yep, nope, doesn't happen. And I know that for the past week and a bit, it's been, they've had weird snowstorms, and it's not been going well up in Mesopotamia. And I think they're like up to their armpits in mud and all kinds of stuff. So there we go. We got that bit. While the delay in the relief of Kut El Amara is most regrettable, it must be remembered that General Townsend's army is not entirely out of touch with the relieving forces. A most interesting item of news comes from the London Daily Telegraph from Milan. The statement is made by André Beaumont that the Germans plan to organize a gigantic motor expedition to Mesopotamia, sending across the desert a large army composed of Turks and Bulgars commanded by German officers. The object is to wipe out the British forces now threatening Baghdad. All the motor cars available in Constantinople are being concentrated. Kind of almost like a weird version of that taxi thing that happened in 1914 with the French. The Dardanelles, together with the new levies from Syria, 3,000 motor cars, it is believed, will be available for the expedition, and many floating mines are being sent forward. And this is here. Turkey no longer has resources to attack in force on the Tigris and along the Suez Canal simultaneously. So they're assuming there's going to be nothing, you know, going to happen towards the Suez. And we know it's going to happen in the summer. Wardrobe says, think of all the stories that can be told from these brief summaries, like the British sub being grounded. That's I'm preaching to the gospel, man. I'm back and forth. I mean, I watch your videos, for goodness sakes, Wardrobe. Like I was saying in one comments on one of your things there, the way you were going on about ASL. I mean, how can that not be infectious for other people to watch your videos when you're getting so excited about what you're doing? It's like, my God. I mean, I'm not even in World War II, and you're kind of getting me to think about doing it. For the first time in many weeks, an aerial raid with fatal results has been launched by Germans upon British soil. A German attempt to penetrate the French lines in the region of Neuville, north of Arras, was partially successful. It began with the explosion of mines and a violent bombardment, followed up by an infantry assault. Chrispy Galactic, absolutely, you know it. And Chrispy Galactic, trust me, a lot of these people here, man, got their own little channels. Go take a look at their stuff. You'll knock your socks off. A brilliant exploit was performed yesterday by 2 groups of French airplanes, 24 in all. It just freaks me out. I'm still having a hard time in my mind seeing 24 planes. Like, I don't know, like they were all in one go or what, but which bombarded the railway stations and barracks of Metz. No less than 130 bombs were launched against the objects attacked. I'm still like, my head is, I'm like, this really happened in World War I? From Petrograd, further details have been officially given out concerning the route of the Turkish army to the east of Erzurum. The weather conditions have been frightful, and the frozen bodies of the enemy strew the roads along with the Russians are advancing. On the lower Stripa and along the Dniester Prut, the Russians press with increasing vigor against the Austrian positions. Like I said, I would absolutely love to have a map off to the side here. So it's like, well, where the hell is the lower Stripa? For me, I know it's somewhere in Galicia, but where in context? I'd like to maybe, how far away is this from Warsaw and all that stuff, or Lublin and all that stuff? And other people, maybe you're not, you know what I mean? It'd just be nice. It is announced by the War Office in Vienna that Austrians have occupied the Adriatic seaports of Antivari and Dulcigno. thus shutting off the Montenegrin forces along Lake Scutari from the sea. Confirmation has received of most recent dispatches announcing the concentration of Turkish troops in the east of Salonika, positions of the Allies. These troops are moving up in such a way as to take their position on the left flank of the Germanic army when it advances to the assault. I mean, we got left. Holy heck, I've still got 6 more to do. Jesus H. I better hurry up. The strain upon Austria-Hungary approaches the breaking point. An official of that statement says they're bringing up the level of service up to 55 years. Sorry, Chrispy Galactic, you're going to war. I'm not. There we go. It would be a mistake to suppose that the Allies are not feeling the strain. And the Premier of Italy talks a bit more about it. I love this. Well, for a double bit, I'm sorry, but the responsible leaders, good God. The responsible leaders of the Allied nations and armies are no longer talking of ending the war by a series of great battles intended to break up and disorganize the Germanic armies and send them reeling back to their own frontiers. Ivanov in Bessarabia is illustrating the new program. He concentrates a big force against some vital part of the enemy's line and makes a lodgment in it at great cost. Gee, I wonder where they got that idea from. Happened to them last summer, didn't it? To his own troops. Then the enemy, rather than withdraw his entire front, counterattacks with equal violence and loses terribly in recovering the vital trenches. Several times during the past month, the Russian leader in Bessarabia and Galicia has fought actions of that sort. He does not care whether he gains ground or loses it, so long as by day he is able to reduce the number of adversaries in the same proportion as his own ranks are thinned. Good Lord. He knows that Russia can supply men in practically inexhaustible numbers and that Germany and Austria cannot. Ivanov is working out the most tremendous mathematical problem in the world's history, the subtraction of the Teuton from the Slav. Like I've said before, Wardip says, that said, I did ask in another video if you're aware of a good World War summary book that would give me some decent overview of the war. Oh my God. Yep. Tell you what, Wardrobe, I have a 4 o'clock lecture. I've got to do a little bit of a break, but I'll do a separate video and go over my books, which I would love to do anyways. And I've started to categorize my books, like, biography oriented, general reference oriented, and that is exactly what I'll do. I'll say this right off the bat, just based on the way I think you think. I would highly suggest this one right now. It's not very expensive whatsoever. I think you can get it at Amazon, probably through Amazon. I got mine via the Decision Games site. It's Crowns in the Gutter by Ted Racer. So it's not only are you getting an author, you're getting a gamer. It's got to get rid of this insane little whatever. Here, we're gonna stop. Here, we'll go very quickly, and then I'll show, or whatever. We're doing good. Yeah, I'm getting sidetracked as per. Russian victory in the Caucasus was far more complete than it first stated. An official Petrograd report it's just because I want to help everybody else. So when somebody says something, I'm like, I want to go and help you out, man. An official Petrograd report says that the Russians pursued the fleeing Turks as far as the forts of Erzurum, sabering them and taking as prisoners 1,500 men. Yeah, I just had to put that in. When I saw the sabering bit, I went, whoa. In northwestern Persia, the Russians continue a steady advance. William Arends says that is to be the most cynical reported military strategy giving out to the public. Who could find that a positive development? And William Arends, you're highlighting what I was mentioning earlier about. I'm just gobsmacked that this type of nakedness or whatever is being shown to the public at this point in time. I'm like, can people read between the lines like you are? Saying that's basically this is kind of like alluding to what Falkenhayn said with about what he wants to do with the Battle of Verdun, which is bleed the French white. Eric Goebel, we have Ted World War I Deluxe out on the table right now. I should get his book. Oh, cool. And great to see you. It is. You're darn right it is. Okay, so yeah. Yes, we'll just say this. Wardrobe, go for this book. It's a sweetheart. Yeah, it's darn good. At first I thought, oh, it's not. It is. The Germans are rejoicing over the success of their submarines in destroying British shipping. In December, and we're almost finished. It is asserted 24 vessels, among them a British auxiliary cruiser and 2 transports, were destroyed by Austro-German submarines. Neat to see it called Austro-German. I thought that was nice. There's no cessation of the artillery actions on the Western Front. So would that have been? Yeah, it is in Corfu. I was going to say, as soon as I saw Austro-German, I was like, wait a minute, that's got to be in the Mediterranean. Well, up there. There's no. But remember, the Germans actually did transport by land 4 submarines to the Black Sea. That's pretty freaky wild. That just knocks my socks off. Wardrobe says, yeah, no rush, a separate quick bit. You're done. It'll be done. There's no cessation of the artillery actions on the Western Front. There's no news from Mesopotamia. And on number 6, like I said, we better hustle because you guys have other things to do. British forces on the Tigris are battling against nature. That was that snowstorm thing. Italy will soon have to face music in Albania because the Austro-Bulgarians are coming. The Montenegrins are submitting to the occupation of their country. They're laying down their arms in increasing numbers. The fog of war has settled down densely over Salonika and the adjacent region. Many reports are sent out from the points in Greece and Italy telling of the preparations of the Germanic armies to assail the city and the Allies to defend it. Oh my God. And on a side note, if you guys want a really freaking good episode of The Great War, this week would be what? Week 79. So we'll just go to 1916. A big chunk on Greece and the occupation of Greece by the Allies. It is wicked. Indy Nidell really gets into it. Yeah, this thing about prevailing winds and whatnot, I didn't understand that much. For the first time in months, the Germans yesterday tried to advance on the Belgian coast. Yeah, we're way over. In the report by Sir Douglas, thank God I got it. I at least got to this point to tell you, because this is really, I just thought, okay, this is a biggie. As to operations on the Western Front, it is noted that near, forget it, a small British patrol broke through the enemy's wire entanglements and fired from the parapet into the German trench, which was held strongly. And that's, yet again, the increase in trench rating. On a side note, from the lecture I just was there with Jesse Alexander, he was talking about how ironic, it's interesting that many times the German troops you'll hear are not worried about going over the top. They're actually worried about going underneath, because that's when all the hell's going to start breaking loose. You know, like you're going to get hit by a direct hit, or you're going to be able to get out quick enough to the parapet before the Allies come and throw a grenade down your tunnel and all that stuff. There's still unrest on the northwestern frontier of Egypt. So there's the Senussi still causing them grief. The Russians are hammering away at the forts of Erzurum, which is up in the Caucasus there. And we're way off. We're way off here. So there you go. And like I said, I've popped this. Is this number 9? And one more to go. And that'll be that. But anyways, like I said, all of this, I'll redo it. It's reported that Turkey is tired of the war and that they're going to try to do a separate peace. Please, like I said before, I need to know what is working and what is not working for you guys for our live stream. That's that. Like I said, I'll do a quickie separate video, which I think should help. And please, when I pop that video in, if you guys know of books, pop them in the comments. That'll get everything going around in a nice, great little circle. Thank you, Meandering Mike, as per usual. Great show because of you guys. Chrispy Galactic, boom, done. Thanks, guys. That's it. I'm going to leave you guys alone. It's 1 o'clock. I've got. I'm just going to say this on a side note yet again. Some days it's just like you've got the bit between your teeth, the game. I've just like going out of my skin wanting to go and play. Right now, it's just nuts. Fun as hell. And then some days you hit a brick wall with it. But right now, I'm just like, it's hard to get me away from that thing. Okay, hope you have a great Saturday, great remainder of your weekend. Thank you so flipping much, and off we go. Okay, see you later, guys. Bye.